Hey, everybody. It's Marcia and
Hello.
Michelle, and we're just going to hang out here for a minute, if it's okay with you all, to give a few more people time to get the notification and get on. I wanted to say we're trying some new technology, which we'll talk about this in a little bit, but that's really
It should.
fabulous, though, because today we're iced over, are we not, Michelle?
We are. We
And,
are.
and had we not tried this new technology, I'd be ghostly gabbing by myself again
Again, yes.
because you
And
wouldn't
this
be able to get
technology
here.
should go much better than last time.
Well,
That's
we're
one.
hoping. Well, at least we got you. So,
Yay!
but yeah, the weather has just like been horrible, horrible. So, hey, Bev, we see that you're on. Give us just a minute. We've been dealing with some weather and it's cold. Oh my heavens, it's cold. I actually had to run we've got a whole house generator and I had to be on generator power for 3 hours this morning. And I have to tell you guys the story just real quick. So we've got a whole house generator. Hey, Beck. But we've got two separate electrical panels. We got an electrical panel that controls the front part of the house, and then one that controls our bedroom suite, right? Our bedroom and our bathroom in the back. So the generator is hooked to the main panel, which is the rest of the house, because that's where the furnace is, the air conditioner, the other bathroom, whatever. So I knew that the power went off because everything went off in the bedroom and it was just dark. So I waited, 15 seconds for the generator to kick in. The generator did not kick in. And I'm like, oh crap. So I woke Chuck up and I said, Chuck, the power's off and the generator didn't kick in. I opened the bedroom door and there's all kinds of lights because I forgot the back half of the house was not on the generator. Chuck was pleased that I woke him up.
Oh, I'm sure he was. I'm sure he was.
At 5 o'clock this morning. Anyway, hello, everybody. Welcome to another session of Ghostly Gab and Random Thoughts. We appreciate you watching us, hanging out with us this evening. If you're live with us, because we know there's a lot of other things that you could be doing. And if you're watching us on the replay, we appreciate you taking some time out of your day to see what we're up to. Our topic this evening, we're going to kind of do a little behind the scenes of 2020 and share some of our funniest and scariest moments with you all because, it's not all fun and games. We make it look
startling rather than scary. Startling.
Oh, some were startling. But I had two scary moments, folks. I'm here to tell you, I'm going to underline scary with a capital S. I know we make it look so easy, but it's really
absolutely.
It's really
we always look fabulous doing it.
Yeah, and we always look fabulous, but no, it's just not that easy. Share us out if you will, if you've got some friends that might be interested in what we're talking about tonight. As always, I want to thank our United States military from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. I know so many of you are away from home at Christmas. And being married to a former military guy who was away many, many Christmases, I understand it's not just you that suffer, but also your families. So we do know your sacrifice and we do appreciate it.
Absolutely.
As you can see, we're trying some new technology. We got a new year, new technology. So we'll just see how this works for us. We hope you like it. We hope that it works as well as it did during our practice sessions.
Yes.
So anyway, and I do want to say welcome to all of the new friends that have joined us on all of our social media platforms this last month since our last Ghostly Gab. We appreciate you being interested in what we're doing. And we hope you enjoy coming along on the journey.
No, journey. Okay.
Come along on the journey with us. How many of you out there were able to see the Great Conjunction on December 21st? Michelle, did you see it?
I did.
Wasn't it fabulous?
It was. Actually, I saw a friend of ours had posted, a friend or something of theirs, of pictures of it that he took with a slower shutter speed. Oh, it was very cool. Very cool.
Now, I don't have any telescopes or anything like that. And of course, my cameras aren't good enough to get that far, and I can't see that far. But what I saw out there, literally to me, looked like the Christmas star. I mean, it was bright, and it just, it was the most beautiful thing ever. And I stood out there and like to froze to death. So, but anyway, I did see it. And I do want to share with y'all that, of course, with that comes the, I know I'm going to sound like the Fifth Dimension song, but comes the dawning of the age of Aquarius. So we have moved with that great conjunction. We moved from the age of Capricorn, which was money focused and goal focused and planning focused, to the age of Aquarius, which is all about love, creativity, innovation, and technology. So
Exhibit A.
Yeah, so we're right on that technology stuff. And I apologize, folks. My nose is like running like crazy, and we all know what that means. So, okay, before we get started on our topic, and again, our topic is some of the funniest and scariest moments of 2020 behind the scenes, what we really go through, because I know that we always look good in these little videos we put together, but it's not always that way. But I want to share with you, Linda had these fabulous, I call them water bottles.
They're Tyrek cups.
Yes, they're fabulous for the Boo team. And let me move this away. And oh heavens, I've got things.
Tumblers,
Linda. Thank you, tumblers. Anyway, she had enough made for all members of the Boo team. And
thank you.
Yeah. So, and we have extra. So some of our fans will end up with a tumbler. How we're going to figure that out, I don't know, but we'll figure out how to get them to you. And I don't know how many of you see in the chat that my husband thinks that I'm covified because my nose is running. Okay. The other thing, which is his answer to everything. If I sneeze, I'm covified. Okay. So the other thing that I want to show you, because, we all had to mask up this year. Michelle's daughter, look at this. Look at these fabulous masks. Aren't they fabulous?
We put them to use several times.
Oh, we did. And you will see in some of the videos, we've got this around our neck. That's what that is, are these masks. They were fabulous. And they are certainly for sale for $100 a piece. So if you want one, just message me. We'll have you one made, because they are limited edition now. I think we could probably even get them signed or something. I don't know. Maybe the Boo team will just sign them all. I don't know. And then the final thing that we got a gift from our Detroit friends. Is this not the cutest thing? It's a little candle holder. And then they put
That's so cute.
And they put Boo on it. So Wendy and Kayla, thank you so much for this. I love it. You'll see it behind me in the next Ghostly Gab. Okay, so I've just been rattling on here. Let me see where we're at here. Okay.
She has all the notes. She didn't share it.
Okay, so because I'm getting to that age where if I don't write it down, I just don't remember it. So we did have a kind of a slow year, because there were several months where we had to cancel hunts. March, April, May, we had to cancel 3 months. Yeah. But still, we went to 5 states. We hunted 16 different locations. One of those 16 locations we hunted twice. And we went UFO hunting. So, while we think we had a pretty slow year, we didn't have a slow year. We made lots of new friends. We met some of the craziest people, I swear, and some of the nicest, most fun-loving folks ever. We did have some challenges with our hotel accommodations and with our food. And do you know that we didn't go to Waffle House not one time?
Marsha's devastated by that fact.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just so you all know, she truly is.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying that's like a tradition for the boo teams. If we are anywhere where there is a Waffle House, we go to a Waffle House. We did not go to one Waffle House this year, not one. And of course, Michelle and I were talking about this yesterday, and because Michelle found that very hard to believe, but we had not been to one Waffle
Not at
House.
all.
Not at all. No. But then too, we've been starting our hunts a lot earlier than we had, in the past. In the past, we were starting our hunts like at 6 or 7 o'clock at night. A lot of our hunts this year, we were able to start like at noon.
Yeah. So we started earlier because, as we've discussed previously, you don't need a specific hour to actually ghost hunt.
That's correct. And we've caught tons of evidence during the day, the same as we do at night.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So now we'll have to make an 11 o'clock run to Waffle House instead of a 5 a.m. run to Waffle House.
5? It was like 3.
I was trying to push it. Make us seem younger. Make us seem younger. Okay. And no, Chucky, you don't have to be drunk to eat there, although I'm sure that it does help.
There have been a few dinners and shows.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh.
Okay. So with all of that said, let's get into it. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle. And what we're going to try with this new technology, we've got a few video clips, and then we've got a few pictures to share with you. And then we'll kind of tell you the story behind it. Michelle, you look like you've seen a ghost. What's going on?
I'm getting ready to put the... And my family is walking around in the other room going, is she talking to herself? Okay, so we're starting off with our first video.
Okay.
Can you see the pause with two purple lights?
I can see the pause. Okay, now, folks, what I want to tell you about this video, I got a huge chuckle out of this. You guys may not. So we're at the 1858 jail. Yes, the 1858 jail up in Independence. And we've got our friends from Iowa with us, Dawn and Christy. And Christy is not a fan of bats. I'm just going to say she's not a fan of bats.
Smart person.
Nor any of the rest of us. We're just not a fan of bats. So I had explained to her, and of course she's not a videographer either. So, I gave her some instructions. I'm like, Christy, hold the camera up, and film, right? So Michelle's going to start this. First of all, she's filming and she has no lights, right? She didn't turn the lights on. So after a moment or two, she realizes she doesn't have the lights on. Now keep in mind that I'm depending on her to film this so that we can show this to you guys, right? Okay, so, all right, she finally figures out she's got the lights. But then she couldn't see where she was going. So she's filming the floor, right? Which again is not really the best camera angle for you guys. And then she finally did look up. Something caught her eye and she turned around. And I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but Michelle, you can go ahead and stop that one. I don't know if you saw what was in the video, but Michelle's going to play another little clip here. Yeah. Let me get rid of that. Sorry. So Michelle's going to show the other one.
Here we go. I had to exit out of full screen.
Yeah. What Christy heard when she turned around was a bat. And because we're in the hall, yeah.
Go ahead.
Because we're in the hallway. Okay, I kind of slowed it down. You might have to back it up, Michelle. Because I slowed it down, you'll be able to see the bat. But the bat literally flew past her head and down the hallway. You see the bat?
Oh, I saw it.
Did you see it? Yeah. So I kind of thought that was hysterical because she had no idea. And then she's just wandering around and she has absolutely no idea. So anyway, I thought that was a hoot. All right. What do we got coming up next?
Next, we have
Let me know when you're ready. Edinburgh?
Yes. You see it?
Okay, now, before you start this, Bev, Becky, this is for you all. So what I'm doing, I've got the camera, right? And I've got the GoPro and it's on my head. So I can't see it. But I'm telling them, I need to focus it in and whatever. Go ahead. So I should be flashing red.
Yes, you are.
I do see you.
All right.
So if you guys
Thank you,
if you guys
Michelle.
will periodically just take a look, make sure I still. So that's the kind of stuff that I deal with when I'm trying to be serious and actually film something.
I just think it's funny that they showed you your butts and you asked them to flash you.
Yeah.
To
No.
check that you're flashing. No? Okay.
No. All right. What do we got coming up next?
Oh, Randolph County. Oh, this will be fun. The alarm.
Okay.
There's
All
much
right.
debate about this.
There you are. Now, that doesn't look like the alarm.
That's what it's titled.
Okay.
Want me to just press play and go? Or do you want to give background?
Well, I'm going to give background. We'll see if it's really the right video or not. But so y'all know, those of you that were on the live feed while we were at Randolph County, that it was just Michelle and I.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I had broadcast it to like God and everybody that we were there by ourselves. And it was just the two of us and that we couldn't lock the door. So, yeah. So everybody in the world knew it. And during the live feed, the alarm actually went off.
And where are we?
We are on the
second floor.
We're on the second floor. Yeah, we're all the way down at the other end of the hallway. And I took off running, which was the first time, seriously, folks, that I had run in probably 30 years. Michelle was stunned.
I was like, oh my gosh. She's running. What the hell?
Yeah. So when you look at the other video, the still camera that we had down on the first floor, you see me come down and then Michelle's like 10 seconds behind me because she didn't know whether to follow me or go the other way and call for help. I don't know.
Well, and we were trying, nobody's here. Hello, who's here? Do you really want somebody to answer you? And we were debating the whole time. Somebody there? It's a critter. I'm telling you, it's a critter. So I'm like waving the lantern along the edges because I don't like bats. I'm one of those with you. I don't like bats. And I sure didn't want a rat because, bats are just, flying rats. So with that being said, are we ready?
Well, and I do want to tell you this, guys. I hurt myself because I am still in physical therapy from an IT band pull for making this run. So yeah.
That's what happens when you exercise once in 30 years.
I know. I know. I try never to exercise. I don't know that this is a video, but play it anyway.
Okay, let's see.
Oh yeah, it is. And again, somebody here, we got to go. So there I am running like at full speed. Yes.
Who's here?
Yeah, like somebody's going to say to me,
oh, no.
I'm here. I'm breaking into place.
Oh, I'm close enough you can hear me mumbling.
So I'm here to tell you though, folks, that really did unnerve me. That one did because my initial thought was it was a live body. Spirits never crossed my mind, that it was a ghost or something like that setting off the alarm. My first thought was that a live body, because I had told everybody in the world we were there by ourselves and couldn't lock the door. Lesson learned.
And from the very beginning, I said it was a cat or some other critter that stuck its head in the door and had scared. And we had lessons learned from that.
Yes.
One, don't broadcast everything to the world.
Yes.
Two, set a camera up when you set an alarm.
Which when we set the alarm up, I had the camera in my hand.
We didn't put it
and
down.
I carried it upstairs.
Because you didn't have enough in your hand.
Yeah, I didn't have enough. Holy moly. All
Oh
right,
my goodness.
what do you got up for me next? Holy moly.
Okay. Next is Arizona.
Oh, okay. I have to give you this story. Becky, this is for you, sister. So it's like 105 degrees, and I'm not exaggerating. It's like 105 degrees. And we are out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, literally probably 25 or 30 miles, Becky, weren't we, from the town when we went to the homestead, because it was out in the middle of the desert. I mean, they were ranching around it, like 2,000 acres. They were ranching around it. Hotter than hell, I'm here to tell you. And of course, Becky fell at the airport, which that was a scary moment. I'm going to put that on the scary moment list. Because she, even though we laughed about it, she fell not once, but twice over her luggage, and she injured her arm. So her arm, she was having trouble with her arm. Would she go to the doctor? No, she wouldn't go to the doctor. But anyway, so it's hot, and Becky's about, if you've never met her, Becky's about 5 feet tall and has no idea how to open a cattle gate, right? I live on a farm. I know how to open a cattle gate. She's from Las Vegas. No cattle gate experience, right? And she had to open, like, was it 4 or 5 of them, Becky? Anyways, 4 or 5 of these cattle gates, and the bulls were there, right? So as you're watching this, you can hear me in the car. I'm laughing at her because she's cussing me, but you guys can't hear that.
Ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, clean your windshield.
We had a nice ride. Air conditioning was working great.
Thank goodness.
Oh no, it's
Whoops.
buffering. Oh no, it's buffering.
Oh, it's playing on my end.
No, it's buffering here. There it is. So she can't figure out the gate, right? She has no idea.
Boy, that look said it all.
Didn't it?
It did. It did. And Becky, we heard you loud and clear. Oh, it's still going.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had to share that because that was one funny moment for me. She did not find it amusing. Holy smokes. Oh my gosh. All right. I don't know what we got coming up next, but what do you got?
Next is the drone.
Oh,
And you can do some talking for a minute because it's thinking.
okay. Okay, guys. So, I don't own a drone. Right. You were not saying how much you loved me, Becky. That's not what was coming out of your mouth, I'm afraid.
No.
No. So I don't own a drone. I borrow Chucky's drone whenever we go ghost hunting because I like to get drone footage. And I do know how to operate the drone pretty well. I also know, before you guys say it, that the first thing that you're supposed to do when you fly your drone is set your home point. That you're supposed to do is set your home point, right? I know that.
Mm-hmm.
I seldom do it because I don't keep the drone in the air long enough for the battery to run out, right? Because I got about 12 minutes on the battery. I'm seldom up in the air more than 4 or 5 minutes. At Randolph County, because I was across the street and I was screwing around, we were parked across the street, and then we went to where the asylum was, and then we went back and forth. Anyway, my time was running. When the drone battery gets low, it automatically will go to its home point, right? Because it's a safeguard so that you don't do something stupid. And before it runs completely out of battery, it's going to go home and land itself, right? I know you guys know where I'm headed with this.
Ready?
So its home point was set for Missouri. Ready to go. So you will see I'm attempting to land it because I knew it was running out of battery. right? So I'm attempting to get it on the ground. I don't quite make it before it decides it's going home, right? So it goes up 98 feet in the air and it's heading to Missouri. And
And which state were we in?
we were in Indiana. So, yeah, we're in Indiana. So all I could think about was, how am I going to explain this to Chuck when this drone finally runs out of battery and it falls to the earth, right? And you can see where we're at. So I'm trying desperately to turn the drone on and off so that I can kind of force it to come back. And all I needed to do was get it close enough to the ground so that I could grab hold of it, right?
Pause. And what do drones have?
Drones have blades on the top that spin around.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and you can see me, and now you can see Michelle running across the road because she knows something's happening. So
and did you see the helipad there?
Yeah, I got it down.
Oh, look
yeah, there's the helipad. I get it down close enough that I can grab hold of it. But I grabbed it from the top on the blade instead of the bottom. So you're going to see me shaking my hand because it cut the hell out of my hand.
It really did. I mean, it was
like,
it was from my angle, it was comical, but it's like you saw me kind of put my hands out like, what are you doing? Just trying to prevent it from going to Missouri.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's like, it wasn't going to make it. It was going to die and like drop out of the air because we were like in Indiana.
And it was windy too.
Yeah, it was. And it was 98 feet in the air because that's how it's set to go home. So it can miss all the trees. Yeah.
And we learned lessons with that one as well.
Oh, absolutely. Home point is always set now. Always set. I'm just here to tell you. But that was a lesson learned. And, you know, it's a spark, so it'll land in your hand so you can grab it underneath and hold on to it. But I was in such a panic. The first thing I did was grab the top of it because I needed to get hold of it. So I'm just saying.
And she really did mess up her fingers.
I did. Oh man, it hurt. Well, you know, the blades are spinning.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. All right. What do we got coming up next?
Here's the God helmet.
Oh, God helmet. Okay, now I want to tell you guys about the God helmet. Brian jail, right? So Austin suggested that I try the God helmet because I don't know how many of you know that I'm gifted, but I'm gifted. I'm clairaudient. I can hear the spirits. So he wanted to see if it would enhance my ability, if I could hear them more. So what happened? But first of all, it did not enhance my abilities. That's the first thing. But what you're going to see in this video clip, and this is the scariest moment
of this year.
Yeah, I think this even beats being attacked at the old farmhouse, Michelle. This scared me.
Okay.
As I've got the God helmet on and it comes around, it looks like a transformer because it's like this across my face, so I can't really see it. And something was coming up behind me. I could feel it. I knew it was there. I knew it was dark, not demonic. I don't want to say it was demonic, but it was a dark, very dark energy, and it was rushing me, right? So in my mind, I flipped around and stood up, right? But that's really not what happened. I just kind of eased around, and Bev was like, you know, you were very, very calm. Folks, I'm here to tell you, it scared the bejesus out of me. That's the scaredest I think I've ever been on a ghost hunt because I couldn't see it. I knew it was there. I knew it was going to challenge me, right? But I'm in disaster management. So it's kind of my job to stay cool when things are all falling apart. So I guess I did stay calm. So this video doesn't really show you how excited I was on the inside, but you'll see me sitting there in the God helmet, and then you'll see me turn around when something approaches me. Of course, we didn't catch anything, but not then, but we did get a picture of it later. And we got some pretty scary EVPs. Okay, you ready?
Going.
All right, here we go. So you might have to back it up. That wasn't the beginning of it, was it?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting with the God helmet on my face, and like I said, it's like right behind me. And that, folks, is the scariest moment of this entire year, right there.
Okay. I think that's our last one.
Is that our last one?
It is. So I'm going to stop and I'm going to switch to our.
We got some pictures?
Yep.
Okay.
So, yes, it was very interesting to say the least.
Yep. Now, I will tell you, this year, I was physically attacked also.
Hello.
I was physically attacked also at an old farmhouse that we were investigating, which is the first time I've really been attacked. And that didn't scare me. It kind of caught me off guard. And especially since the homeowner that was there with me saw it coming and didn't say anything and let it hit me upside the head, but that's okay.
Now, wait a minute. It happened very quickly because that was the moment where I heard it, he saw it, you felt it.
It hit me upside the head. It took me to my knees. Yeah.
It did. It just about did. It truly did. It's not funny, but but we do have a picture of it. We don't have it loaded up today to show you, but we do have where you could see where she was had red, where it just literally like poked her in the head.
Yeah, it hit me in the head. And I'll tell you the reason I didn't actually drop to my knees, although I went down, because we were in the grass and I had on my good pants. And I thought, I don't want to get grass stains on my knees. So I kind of grabbed hold of, the homeowner that was there. It's like, ah. So, all right, what do we got going on? This is Brownella, right?
It is.
Okay, guys, I'm just going to say I had
You've already said this, so go ahead. Go ahead.
I had plenty of room. Plenty of room. I had about 2 inches on the top and about 3 inches on the side, Michelle, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
Plenty of room to get in there. And 2 people were flagging me in.
Okay, now pause, because we had this whole conversation on a previous one. The gentleman that you see up there by the door, if you can see the screen, he is the keeper of this location. He was on the right side of this canopied area. I was on the left side, and you did marvelously on the left side. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I got hung up on the right because he just kept telling me to keep coming, and I'm thinking, oh, because that is very narrow. You guys can see how narrow that is.
Yeah.
And the problem that I got into and I was only off, Michelle, 2 or 3 inches? I mean, I wasn't off.
I don't even think it was that much. It was about an inch or two.
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't off hardly at all. And the posts that are there on the left-hand side.
Not the ones in cement.
No, not the cement ones, but the green ones.
Yep.
The truck is so long because it's an F-150 extended cab. I couldn't cut the wheel hard enough to back up just that little bit because I was going to take out that pole.
Yeah.
And Brownella Cottage is in excellent shape.
Yes, it is. It's in magnificent shape.
Yeah. So the one thing I did not want to do was take out one of their poles.
God, no.
Gosh, no. And this is another time when it was like, 100 degrees, Michelle?
Oh, it was toasty.
It was pretty toasty. And the grass was just a little bit long. It needed to be cut. It wasn't real long, but it was ready to be cut.
And you learned something here too.
I did. So Michelle says to me, you need to unhook the truck and we will move the trailer by hand.
She looked at me like I had 2 heads.
I'm just saying, I said, it's not going to work. That trailer is heavy. It weighs 1,500 pounds. Nope, that's what we need to do. That's what we need to do. And I don't know, we discussed it for a couple of minutes.
Ham-hawed around.
And finally, I didn't have any choice. I mean, I couldn't go forward or backwards. We had to do something.
Mm-hmm.
So I unhooked the trailer, which, is not a problem. But then I'm in the grass. And of course, the mosquitoes were horrible there.
Yeah.
You know what, guys? You know what I learned? We can move that trailer with no problem whatsoever by hand.
Now, it's not like we were going a long distance with it. We were just changing its direction.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, we just gave it a little shove and it moved right over. So I learned something new.
Yep. Yes, you did.
All
Well,
right.
there are all sorts of learning opportunities.
Well, and I should have paid, I say this now, I should have paid attention because haul around a horse trailer, but what do you know about trailers?
Nothing, nothing at all.
Yes.
All right. Our next picture.
Oh, the bat. Can you zoom in on the bat?
Let's see here.
So, okay,
It's
Melissa,
not clear, but
no, well, it's not clear, I don't think, in the original picture, but Melissa and Becky and I are at the Granger house. And Vicky, we're getting ready to shut down. Vicky was the gal from the Granger house that came over to, let us in and let us out and whatever. So we were laughing about how we were in the carriage house, and I actually went up on the second floor of the carriage house, and there were no bats because I even mentioned there are no bats up here, and this is where I would think bats would be. So when it was time to leave and Vicky came over, she said, I need to go upstairs and turn that light off that's upstairs. Well, there wasn't a light on upstairs. We had not been upstairs. And she's like, yeah, there's a light. When I pulled in, the boys' room light is on. So we're starting up the stairs. Now, this is inside the Granger home, which is another home that is perfectly preserved, right? And we're on the stairs. Vicky is in front. Then it's me. Then it's Becky. And then it's Melissa. And then it's Becky, right? So I never saw the bat. The bat comes from the first floor and flies up the stairs, right? Well, Melissa and Becky and Vicky, all three of them saw it. And poor Melissa, she freaked out and runs over Becky, who's hanging onto the rail, because she's ready to be flipped over the rail. And poor Vicky, who's in front of me, she literally goes down. I thought the poor woman had a heart attack or something. And then the screaming starts, and it's like, and I know nothing, right? I know nothing. Even though the bat came over my head, I don't know anything because I never saw it. So then, I realized there's a bat in the house. And there is where the bat landed, on the second floor. So poor Vicky, she's like, I said, is there something we can do to help you? And she's like, you can help me get the bat out. And I'm like, well, that's the one thing we're not going to help you do. Is there anything else we can help you do? We're not dealing with the bat. So anyway, we did leave Vicky and the bat at the Granger house. But it was so funny because we'd been talking about the bat before and how we'd not seen one. And here it is inside the house on the first floor. And it comes from the front parlor. Apparently, I didn't see it, but the rest of them did. It comes from the front parlor and up the stairs. So anyway, I thought that was kind of humorous.
Oops.
So, all right. And Becky, you got to admit that was funny. And that was the day. Okay, if you guys watched any of the videos from that trip, when was that, Michelle? Was that in April or May when we went? Anyway, we were gone for 3 or 4 days.
Oh.
And, hey, you might not have even been with us on that.
I was not.
But my hair started out really nice.
Oh, it doesn't have the date.
And then by day 2, it's a little bit bigger. And then by the time we're at when we were at Edinburgh, if you see the picture of the group picture at Edinburgh, it's a little bit bigger. And then by the time we get to the Granger house, it's like a 1970s afro because, the heat was horrible. Okay, so here we are at the Bryan place, right? Haunted Bryan. No. I'm sorry. Madison.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the dining room. And at one point late in the evening, all of us, except for whoever was in the boomobile, and I don't even remember who that was, but somebody was in the boomobile watching everything. So we're down there, it's dark. So picture this, over on the right-hand side where that railing is, up against the wall there, I think it was Bev and Wendy was standing there originally, or Bev and Linda.
Nope. Linda was next to me.
Okay. So we've got Bev and Wendy standing there. The rest of us are over behind this rocking chair because we're all sitting down at the table and it's dark now. It's pitch black. But we saw something fly. And
Okay, pause. So over here on the left where the arrow is, where we were all sitting, it actually extends down and there's another doorway that leads into the same hallway that's right here. So you'll see this hallway is in direct correlation with this handrail. Okay, continue.
because Michelle was the first one that saw the dark thing fly because you caught it on that second doorway down there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And it flew down and flew right past Wendy and Bev, right?
It came right up above their heads and went right back out.
Yep. So, of course, there we are dealing with bats yet again on the first floor. It's not like we got them in the attic, folks. We're on the first floor here. So anyway, we're having this discussion about the bats, and we saw him 2 or 3 more times.
Mm-hmm.
But the really funny thing about this is, you see that pole there in the middle, Michelle? Yeah, not this that one. Nope, the other one. Yep. So at one point, as we're discussing the bats, I'm standing on one side of that pole, and Bev is standing directly on the other side of the pole. And Michelle says, because Michelle's the bat watcher, right? Michelle,
I'm sitting over here. Yes.
Because you can spot those bats from 100 miles away, right? And Bev and I are in oblivion. So Michelle says the bat came to that pole, or the bat flew to the pole, or something like that. And of course, we dismissed her.
Typical. It's okay.
Yeah, we dismissed her. But when I watched because the picture you see there is actually a still from the static camera that was there. When you watch the video, the bat actually flies from the right-hand hallway and lands right on that pole, right between me and Bev.
Yep.
And we had no clue.
Yep, don't listen to Michelle.
The other thing I want to say too about this, you see the area, the door, the bathroom door. So that light's on, right? It's very distracting to the night vision camera. So I asked the team if they would go down there and, turn off the light or cover that door up or do something. So bless their heart, I think it was Wendy and Kayla went down and worked really hard to cover that doorway so that light wouldn't interfere. And through the night, the covering kept coming down and we were always having to put it back up. At the end of the night, when I went in there to use the restroom, I noticed there was a light switch right there. They could have just turned the light off.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's a light switch. So anyway, I thought I'd share that.
Nice.
Because they did a fine job of covering the doorway and continued to fix it every time it fell, but it wasn't necessary. All right, what do we got up next?
Next is air duct. The fire museum.
Fire museum. Becky, here you go. All right.
This is all for you, hon.
This is all for you, Becky. So Mansfield Fire Museum, one of the funniest moments. Michelle, Becky, and I, we're going to play bingo before we hunt, right? Well, apparently in Las Vegas,
things are done a little differently.
Yeah, bingo's done differently than it is everywhere else in the United States. So poor Becky got her papers but didn't know what to do with them because in Las Vegas, everything is electronic. You have, I guess, a tablet or something that plays itself or whatever. So she was really, really struggling with this. And by the end of the night, Michelle, you can help me here. Not even by the end of the night, but as we got started, she had about half the staff over there helping her play bingo.
And bless his heart, what's his name kept coming over? Bob kept coming over and chit-chatting. And it's like, dude, we don't have time for this. Go on. We'll talk to you afterwards. Stop.
The guy that had set up the hunt for us, he wanted to make sure we were having a good time and all of that. And he would come over, and every time he came over, it was like, we can't keep up as it is, because we just can't keep up as it is. And every time you come over, you distract us. But yeah, so that was probably the most stressful
Yeah. Yeah, that was oh,
So
poor
this is,
Becky.
yeah, this is the bingo hall, but yeah, that was probably one of the most stressful periods that we had, but it was funny. It was
It
fun.
was yes, it was fun.
Yeah. Because
Okay.
poor Becky,
Oh,
she's like, "No, I have a machine and I have a margarita. That's how I play bingo." And it's like, "Oh, shoot.
no, it wasn't a margarita, it was something else. It was a martini is what she kept saying, a martini.
A martini. Never again, Beck. You're not going to play with a dauber again." But we did get these fabulous boo daubers.
We did. We did. We got they gave them to us specifically.
Okay.
That's it.
That's all we got?
That's all of it.
All right. Well, so anyway, guys, that's some of our funniest and scariest moments. And like I said, a dirty martini. Okay. Um, what happened at Brian was very scary, very scary. A couple of other things that I wanted to mention too, that I thought was hysterical, and my cousin did not. So when we were at Stone Mansion, it was a little chilly. We were there in March, I believe, but it was a little chilly, snowing, as a matter of fact. And we decided we did not get a hotel. We spent the night in the Boomobile, Becky and I. And we've got a heater. I mean, there's a heater in the Boomobile. There's one in the back and there's a smaller one in the front. So I had my little cot laid out, and Becky was on a chase lounge in the front part of the Boomobile by the door that doesn't really close. You know, there's this big gap. So I didn't want her sleeping bag to get up against the space heater that was in the front there. So I turned it off. Now I'm in the back of the Boomobile with my space heater's working fine, right? She's in the front. So I am so sorry, Becky, but so I get up because I have to go to the bathroom, right? So I get up, and we always go together, right? We never go into location by herself, typically. So I said, "Becky, I've got to, I got to go." So she's wrapped up in this sleeping bag like like a tortilla. And she just said, "I can't, oh, I'm tickled just thinking about it." She said, "I can't move. I am literally frozen to the Chase Lounge. Give me a second to get up." And I'm like, I can't give you a second. I had to go. And so if you can just picture somebody completely in a sleeping bag, and she's like doing this, and she's like, "I am frozen to the Chase Lounge." So to me, that was probably the funniest moment ever. And Bev and Linda were pretty toasty in Linda's car, because they sleep in that car a lot, because it's big and they got plenty of room. And I'll tell you, I was pretty toasty in the Boomobile, but it never occurred to me that Becky was up front where the door didn't close all the way. There was a big gap in the door. So the cold wind was coming in on her all night long, and she was literally frozen to the Chase Lounge. So, yeah. And something interesting that happened too this year when we were at Edinburgh, one of the former patients or residents actually stopped by to talk to us while we were there. And that was pretty interesting to get somebody's take on, somebody that actually lived there and experienced that. And I think he lived there for like 8 years and was able to tell us all about the inner workings. And I think he was one of the last people to actually leave there. So that was pretty interesting this year. Okay, I guess that's it, right?
Yep.
Anything we've missed? Anything coming to mind? No.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, we've been rattling on. Oh my gosh, almost an hour. So, how time flies.
Well, we're recapping the year, so
Yeah, we're recapping the year, and a neat experience that Becky and I had was actually the UFO hunting thing. Which check out the Facebook video about the UFO hunt. But we did, I'm sure, and Becky agrees with me, encounter a serial killer and managed to barely get away. So we're parked in the desert, right, in the middle of nowhere, Beaver Flats, just outside of Sedona, Arizona, behind the only bush around that's big enough to hide the truck or the car. And this guy pulls in and he turns off his truck and he sits there. And we're positive he's a serial killer. So that's when we left. Actually, he was there to pee, but to us, he was a serial killer. And that's my story. And we saw the chupacabra too. I'm sure we saw the chupacabra in Arizona. It could have been a dog, but I'm thinking it's the chupacabra. Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for hanging with us. Okay, so we got some changes. I'm just going to go through this really quick. Some changes coming up for 2021. Michelle, you want to pull our logo up? So we've got a new logo for our social media. It's still Just Say Boo and Midwest Ghost Hunters, pretty much the same, but we just jazzed it up just a little bit for our social media because white on white tended to blend in. You're going to be seeing some new faces this year on some of our hunts. As you all know, we lost Deb this year, 2020, and she left a big hole in our team. And we're looking for some new team members to help us out. So you're going to be seeing some new faces. Our friends from Iowa, Don and Christy, are going to join us for a few more hunts than they've been able to join us in the past. Well, at least I hope Christy will, seeing as how I dogged her video skills earlier today. Sorry, Christy. Anyway, they're a lot of fun. They're going to join us for a few more. Our friends out of Detroit, Kayla and Wendy, are going to join us for a few more as well. So you'll be seeing them. Also, you're going to see some additions to some of our video structures. We're still going to have our road trip type videos, which are the videos I've been putting out. But we're also going to be adding some like in the moment videos because I don't know why, but folks have been asking to actually see like our EVP sessions and our portal sessions and our walkthroughs. And if that's what you all want, I'm happy to share. It's not exciting, but I will certainly share it with you. So you'll see that a little bit more of that. You'll see us a little bit more in the videos. I think that's it as far as changes coming up. Michelle, you want to show social media because I know, oops.
Hold on.
There we go. All right. You can always find us on social media. There's our website across the top. We're on YouTube, Instagram, Library, and MeWe as Midwest Ghost Hunters. And of course, we are on Facebook as Just Say Boo. Now, we got a couple of things coming up. February, we're going to be at the Dead of Winter in Illinois. It is still going on. That's Troy Taylor's event. They are still going to have it. That's a big food drive they also have for the locals there. We donate food and whatever. And in February, that's when we're going to start hunting for the first time. We're going to take January off. We'll be at Westwood School and Fairfield County Infirmary in Ohio, weather permitting. All right, Linda Lou, are you ready? Shake your head yes or no.
Can I stop sharing?
You can stop sharing, yes.
Thank you.
One of the perks of this platform that we're on here, it allows us to bring other folks on. So tonight we're going to bring Linda on from our Cincinnati team. She's going to do the lightning round because we thought that maybe you know so much about me and Michelle and even Becky and Bev, but you don't know the other team members as much. So we just thought, we'll bring somebody new on. All right. Hi, Linda.
Hi, no pressure whatsoever.
So Linda is going to be doing our lightning round, or as lightning round as it's going to get here. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Those of you out there in social media land, get your fingers ready. Here we go. New Year's resolution or not?
No.
That was a firm, quick no, too.
You got it.
What secret conspiracy would you like to start?
Ooh.
Boy, that's a
When
stumper.
I'm a millionaire.
I don't think that's a conspiracy. I think that's a damn lie. So, because I know that was kind of a stumper. All right. Here you go. Would you rather have a pause button on your life or a rewind button?
Mm.
Rewind.
Pause.
Yeah, I think I'd be a pause.
I want to do something better than I did before.
Oh, and Becky's asking you a question. Is Marcia's hair really red?
No.
Okay. That's a damn lie. Okay. Movies or music?
Music.
What food could you give up forever?
Guacamole.
Shame on you.
Do you eat it now?
Nope.
No, it's got to be something you eat.
Um,
Maybe let me rephrase it. What is a food that you currently eat that you could give up forever?
that is really hard because I am a fat girl and I like food.
I do too.
And you're
I
not
do
fat.
too.
I'm really not sure. I like food way too much. What food am I eating now that I could give up forever?
Yeah,
Can't lie. Don't know.
I'm with you. I'm with you because it's like I very limited food anyway. I sure don't want to give something up.
Right.
Okay. Any last thoughts, comments?
Can't wait for the new season to start.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. We got another month to go.
And
So,
thanks for hanging with us through this last year and the coming years.
yeah, we really do appreciate it, guys. We did have some challenges this past year, and we're looking forward to some exciting stuff coming up.
Yes.
So we'll see. And again, I want to thank everybody that's watching us and hanging out with us tonight, because we do know that there's so many other things that you could do, unless you live in central Missouri, when we're all iced over. Well, you can't get out anywhere, but we do appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us. We do appreciate all of you supporting us, because it makes it so much more fun to be able to share what we do with you. We just enjoy it so much. So, all right, guys, until next time, just say
Just say
boo.
boo.